Hey everyone, Realme is one of the kings of the mid-range and budget part of the market. They seem to launch phones faster than we can review them. Now they launched the Realme 7 and the Realme 7 Pro. These phones have quite a few upgrades from the last generation, but they've also included a few questionable changes. So what are the key differences between these two phones? I'm Angie for GSM Arena, and these are the key features of the Realme 7 and the Realme 7 Pro. Both phones have new paint jobs with mostly matte backs. The 7 Pro comes in the mirror blue and mirror silver variants, while the 7 comes in mist blue and mist white. You'll notice a slightly wider camera setup on the back of the Pro, but otherwise the two look almost identical. The back panels provide a more secure grip in comparison to the 6 series, and they're less prone to fingerprints. You will notice that the Realme 7 is a little heavier at 192 grams and the Pro at 182, but perhaps that's due to the larger battery. The Realme 7 Pro is the only one that has stereo speakers, but both have 3.5mm headphone jacks. Both phones have small punch holes in the upper left corners, but the Realme 7 Pro has a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED with a regular 60Hz refresh rate, while the Realme 7 has an IPS LCD with a 90Hz refresh rate. That's a bit of a surprising trade-off and an odd choice by Realme. This also means that the 7 Pro has an under-display fingerprint reader, while the 7 has a side-mounted one. In addition, the 7 Pro has Gorilla Glass 3 Plus protection, which, while better than the Gorilla Glass 3 on the Realme 7, is a downgrade from the Realme 6 Pro's Gorilla Glass 5. The Realme 7 Pro sports a Snapdragon 720G, while the Realme 7 has a MediaTek Helio G95. For the most part, the two seem evenly matched and will probably be great on day-to-day tasks. That said, the Snapdragon is supposed to be a little more power efficient. The differences in screen and chipset choice probably also contribute to the difference in battery size. There's a 4,500 mAh battery on the Pro and a 5,000 on the non-Pro. They both use Super Dart charging, and the Realme 7 Pro is supposed to get from flat to 100% in a lightning-fast 34 minutes. The Realme 7 is slower, but is certainly no slouch, and should get from 0 to 100 in 65. When it comes to software though, both have Realme UI on top of Android 10. This version of the UI looks a lot closer to stock Android than previous iterations, and there's a lot less bloatware this time around. In Asian markets, both phones have a 64-megapixel main sensor with an f1.8 aperture, an 8-megapixel ultrawide, a 2-megapixel macro cam, and a 2-megapixel depth sensor. The selfie cameras, on the other hand, are different. The Realme 7 has a 16-megapixel front camera, while the 7 Pro has a 32-megapixel main camera that comes with EIS and a panorama mode. These two phones are as similar as they are different, but maybe the Realme 7 Pro has enough features to justify that bump up in price. That said, AMOLED but only 60Hz and faster charging but smaller battery? I don't know. One thing's for sure though. Both phones are going to shake up the mid-range part of the market in classic Realme style. As for which is more worth it, well, that we're going to find out in the full review. Thanks for watching everyone, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.